afraid another bloody negotiation.
Smiles, everyone. We must be careful how we present ourselves.
Why did Divine Victoria call the Exalted Council? She's kept Orlais from bothering us for the last 2 years.
At increasing political cost, yes. She has done all she can, but the Exalted Council has become necessary. Orlais would control us, and based on their many marriage proposals, they have specific plans for you. Our real concern is Ferelden. They would see us disbanded entirely.
Inquisitor, it has been too long. I hope the years have been kind to you.
How have you been, Mother Giselle?
I spent last summer in Emprise du Lion, distributing food sent from the Exalted Plains. The Dales are finally recovering.
Corypheus left a great deal of damage for us to repair. I appreciate your efforts.
And I yours, Your Worship. I should mention that your forces at Suladin Keep were of great help. Please give my compliments to Baron Deschedin. Divine Victoria asked me to greet you on her behalf. She is currently attending to the Ferelden ambassador's concerns.
You can probably just call her Vivienne in private conversation.
You can, Inquisitor. I prefer to use her divine name. Our last divine once joked about why I insisted upon calling her Justinia. She called it my way of reassuring her that I had not completely forgotten who was in charge.
How do you think Divine Victoria has done these last 2 years?
It is hardly for me to say, Inquisitor.
With respect, that's never stopped you before, Mother Giselle.
The first year of Victoria's reign was tumultuous. We did not see the peace for which I had hoped. Nevertheless, she has united the Chantry and proven that the mages are under her control.
I'll speak to Divine Victoria.
I believe she would appreciate that, Your Worship. The Divine sees the good that you can do and have done. Duke Cyril will wish to greet you on behalf of Orlais. I believe he is currently speaking with the Tevinter ambassador. Many of your friends have returned as well. I hope you have a chance to speak with them before the Exalted Council begins.
The Imperium sent an ambassador?
Yes, Your Worship. Dorian Pavas has taken the chance to return from Tevinter. It will be good to see him again. I owe him my apology. I allowed my distrust of Tevinter to cloud my judgment. I am glad you saw more clearly than I did.
You're going to apologize? To Dorian?
I have little patience for those who cannot admit they were wrong, Your Worship. Myself included. I will have to make my apologies somewhere public. He will want an audience for his reaction.
Who has returned for the Exalted Council?
Your dwarven friend, Master Tetras. For one, I understand he spent much of the last few years in Kirkwall. I believe Sir Blackwall has returned as well, although he now uses the name Tom Ranier. Enjoy time with them while you can, Your Worship. I doubt you will have the chance once the Exalted Council is underway.
Thank you, Mother Giselle.
Your Worship, a final question, if I may. This Exalted Council, Ferelden would have the Inquisition disband. Orlais sees its power as another feather in a chevalier's helmet. What do you wish to do with the Inquisition?
Corypheus is dead. We accomplished what we set out to do. If we're not needed any longer and it can be done peacefully, It may be time for the Inquisition to disband.
Thank you. Maker watch over you, Inquisitor. I will not keep you any longer.
The Prince of Starkhaven wrote to you again.
Of course he did. Just put that one in the pile with letters from the Merchants Guild.
And the captain of the city guard had a very colorful message for me to deliver to you as well.
Inquisitor! Andraste's ass, am I ever glad to see you.
And the Inquisitor comes to the rescue once again.
Is that what you call it?
This is Bran Caven. Until recently, he was the Viscount
Provisional Viscount.
of Kirkwall.
So why is he here with messages from the Merchants Guild?
I have resumed my post as Seneschal now that Master Tethras has been elected Viscount.
You're the Viscount of Kirkwall now?
Well, it seems the two of you have a great deal to discuss. Why don't I just leave you to it?
So, it turns out you fund enough reconstruction efforts in a city-state, the nobles give you the worst job they can think of.
That's fantastic. You'll make an excellent Viscount.
I think the nobility figured, after Dumar and Perrin, what's the worst that could happen if we put the dwarf in charge? They voted me in because I got the harbor and businesses up and running again. They want shit fixed, and I can do that. Anyway, I was hoping I'd catch you before the summit got underway. I got you a sort of present. It's official recognition of your title and holdings in Kirkwall. Congratulations. You're a compt now.
You can't actually do that without...
Too late. Already did it. I also got you a seat in the Merchants Guild. Don't thank me. I was just going to give you mine, but they got so angry about it.
This is highly irregular. You know there have already been complaints from the...
You were leaving us to talk, remember?
This is possibly too much, Varric. I don't know what to say.
That's nothing. Practically nothing. Don't mention it. Oh, that reminds me. It's the key to the city.
You can't give that away without approval from the council and a special ceremony.
It's just symbolic anyway.
It controls one of the giant chain nets in the harbor.
Really? That is so much better than I thought.
This operates those giant chains. Can I try it?
No.
I don't know how this council thing is going to end for the Inquisition. But whatever gets decided, you've got a place lined up in Kirkwall if you want it. Also, control of the harbor, I guess. Anyway, you should meet with the diplomats. And we'll get in a game of Wicked Grace before I go back, though, right?
I wouldn't miss it.
Don't bet any public buildings this time.
You there! You're to dodge, not catch. If that ball were a fireball, you'd be dead.
You found a dog?
They don't breed Mabari in Olay. The merchant said he was abandoned. Perhaps his owner's tired of the novelty.
And you're training him to dodge fireballs because...
He'll be prepared should something happen. Not that something will, or that it will involve fire. Another Ferelden trapped at the Winter Palace. I couldn't leave him to that fate. Besides, I think he likes me.
You could take him to Ferelden sometime. He should know where he came from.
I did promise my sister a visit. She might try to spoil you. Remember who you report to. The Inquisition will change after this. I'm not yet sure what that will mean. Whatever happens, our people, you, Liliana, Josephine, will have my support in whatever form you require.
I can't imagine the Inquisition without you.
I'm honored, and likewise, Inquisitor. You can help. Dodge this, and I'll find overpriced Orlesian dog treats before we go.
Will you walk with me? The first time I came to the Winter Palace, I was only 18. I was dazzled. Such rich hangings, splendid marble columns, more golden lions than I could count. It's all still here, still bright, but I no longer see that same palace.
And that makes you sad.
It is easier on the heart to just see gilding. Now all I can see are the knives in the shadows, the poison in jeweled goblets. They seek to tear the Inquisition down. You feel it, no? Fear.
Have we not made enough allies?
If friends were easily made and kept, we wouldn't need diplomacy. Our allies can be cordial to our faces and still dread the future. They are afraid of nothing so much as the hand that directs it all.
Mine.
Already your actions have begun to reshape Thedas. Your influence is felt everywhere. It was only a matter of time before they moved. I'm surprised it took this long. When the time comes, consider giving them what they want.
I've thought about it. Ending the Inquisition wouldn't be so bad.
You misunderstand. They cannot act against what they cannot see. Publicly, I will of course retire from this life, as one would expect. Let them think they've finally won. I shall take up charity work, become a patron of the arts, as all respectable women of my age do. And perhaps take on a protégé. Our work never ends, Inquisitor. We just need fewer witnesses.
Divine Victoria, am I interrupting?
Of course you are, darling, but that doesn't mean the interruption is unwelcome. The Jarl of Redcliffe was briefing me on the current situation in Denerim. He represents Ferelden at this summit.
Inquisitor, good to meet you.
How are things in Redcliffe, my lord?
We still come across scars left by the Venatori, but the land continues to mend.
I'll try not to keep you from more important matters.
Very well. We'll continue this later, your perfection.
Don't worry, my dear. The Inquisition has the full support of the Chantry at this summit, of course.
When world powers want to discuss plans for the future, I get nervous.
I'm glad you haven't lost your sense of danger. But the powers here are all noise and no teeth. I must make preparations for the summit. My dear, should you need anything, you have but to ask.
I'm glad you finally arrived, Inquisitor. The Crown's anxious for news.
And your thoughts on Ferelden's position?
The breach is long gone, yet Skyhold's army remains. Ferelden can't continue to ignore soldiers on its borders.
The Inquisition has grown. I can see how its presence might cause concern.
Then you understand why we must demand a reduction of your military forces. A power without allegiance to either Ferelden or Orlais? Even I see neither of our countries can let it rest. I won't keep you longer. We'll have words enough when the Exalted Council begins.
Orlais is on your side, Lord Parvis. The Inquisition support is not a thing to lose lightly.
Which is why the Orlesian court is circling it with a net and collar? But you'll have to excuse me. I see an old friend I must greet. Amatus. Wading through all the pomp and circumstance, I see.
You're back after being away in Tevinter for a month, and this is how you greet me.
I have an apology ready.
What have you learned about this council?
Orlais wants the Inquisition tamed, Ferelden wants it gone, the Chantry meddles, and Tevinter sends but one ambassador. That's me, by the way. A reward for my interest in the South. Thankfully, Ambassador Pavis is a token appointment. Call on me as you like.
Inquisitor, Duke Cyril Montfort, member of the Council of Heralds and Lord of Chateau Haine. I have long followed your work. It is extraordinary.
Is that sentiment shared by the rest of the court?
Of course. Orlais wishes only to offer respectful guidance to the Inquisition.
Does your grace feel the Inquisition should continue to rule itself?
I would rather see the Inquisition join us freely than be carved into pieces for the chessboard. I have not forgotten Justinia's death. I had friends who perished at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. More than the good you have done, it is a good we may do together I don't wish to lose. Whatever happens, Inquisitor, I wish you well.
As the most eloquent dwarf you know, Sparkles...
Speech! Speech! Way too much speech.
Varric, there's really no need.
What's going on?
Inquisitor! You're just in time. Sparkles, the Imperium doesn't deserve you. Or want you. It may even kill you. But we'll miss you. If it counts. And you didn't know. Okay, folks. Time to take the party elsewhere.
Tama never wanted any. I swear.
Leave him.
It's true. I couldn't stay away from Tevinter forever. I'm leaving as soon as the Exalted Council is done.
You said you weren't going back. What's changed?
I don't want to leave, Amatus. My father is dead. Assassinated, I believe. I received notice this morning. A perversely cheerful letter congratulating me on assuming his seat in the Magisterium. We only met a few times while I was home. He didn't say anything about keeping me as his heir. This ambassadorship, his doing, I'm told. He must have wanted me away when the trouble began. I have to go back.
I know it was complicated, but I'm sorry about your father.
Thank you. It still doesn't feel real.
So you'll truly be a Magister?
Oh, yes. I can't wait to degrade the Magisterium with my presence. A new outfit is required.
And then what?
I find my father's killers and kill them back. Then I find those giving Tevinter a bad name and kill them. They're most likely the same people, so that should make the job easier.
You'll need help. I could go with you.
Not this time, Amatus. I won't be entirely without support. Mayveris has gathered other magisters who feel as we do. We'll be an actual faction in the Magisterium. I'll teach them manners, take them shopping. It'll be fun.
What of us? This is it, then?
Nonsense. There will always be an us. We'll just be farther apart for a time. Now, don't pout. They'll put that expression on a statue, and then you'll be sorry.
You think this is funny?
Nothing about this is funny. I am sorry, for what it's worth.
You don't have to go back, Dorian. You put it behind you. You still could.
Give up a golden opportunity for martyrdom? Perish the thought. A present. A going-away present. It's a sending crystal. Amazing what friendship with the Inquisition gives you access to. If I get in over my head, or you're overwhelmed with sorrow for lack of my velvety voice... Magic. What? You didn't think I would just leave and you'd never hear from me again, did you? You are the man I love, Amatus. Nothing will truly keep us apart. Now let's finish the good wine before the others get back.
Fashionably late. I thought you weren't gonna show.
I gave you my word we would talk, and I never break my word.
Easy there. I was just teasing. So tell me everything that happened while I was away. And after the betrayal, and what I put those men through, my sorries were worth about as much as shit.
Are you glad you at least tried to apologize?
It's hard to say. I go back and forth most days. They needed to know that there's a way to come back from anything. And I wanted to help them if I could. I thought going up there on the gallows was difficult. This was worse. 100 times worse. Anyway, it's nice to be back, though I'm not sure what to think of this council. No matter what, you know you can always count on my sword arm and my friendship.
I'm getting a little worried for the palace, and any passers-by.
Inquisitor, I see you have time for afternoon refreshments.
Glimmering, glittering, perfect cut, mask a maze of gemstones. She will think it pretty.
Excuse me, I might,
I appreciate the help getting him elsewhere.
He wants stones the color of his eyes. Happy, bright, beaming, being seen, not seeing. And I needed the table.
For breadcrumbs?
Birds like breadcrumbs.
Inquisitor, how good to see you here. I came to sit and pen another song.
Sweet songs, poignant pain plants joy that grows later. She can't see me. I help her help people.
I gathered.
You're smart and kind. You're worthy of true love.
Hello, Halam Sharam! The fire of Zither must be fueled by wine, ideally shared with adoring fans.
But not with him. You need somebody nice. Yes, better. He'll be gentle, so will you.
You're with the Chargers, are you not?
I've seen you in the Skyhold Tavern where I sing.
Oh yes, I love your songs. Sometimes I'd sit up on the chair to take a better look at your songs. The Chargers have their own song, if you'd like to hear it.
Good.
Nicely done, Cole.
Here's you! And everyone! Glad to be back, all stuffed together. With the pressure full on. Again. Don't worry, Herald of Everywhere. I came prepared. I know what everyone needs. Just like best times.
I expected a roof.
It's early. Anyway, that was a good run. It's all been a good run. I needed that. And I need... You know it's ending, right? We can say it won't, but knobs in places like this, all they do is end things. They'll try a leash. Or worse. But maybe you aren't ready to quit just because some Lord Piddlebits is scared of us.
Do I seem like I'm ready to retire?
I'm tired. I've never done anything for years. Point is, sooner, all this changes. And you've helped me understand. Too much. So it's my turn to help you. See, I have these friends, and all of them were the wrong sort of whatever. Their place changed, or it never was. So together, we made an us. Everyone needs an us. And when the world is done saying no and calls you the wrong sort of whatever, maybe we can be that us for you. What do you think, Inquisitor? Want to run some rooftops as a Jenny?
You want the Inquisitor? Don't I have a few more titles than your usual Jenny? No offense.
Some taken.
Words. Look, we don't want you. We want to be there for you. If you want to keep doing, it won't be nobles who help. It'll be friends.
Well, all I have to say is, call me Red Friggin' Jenny.
Way too confusing. You'll get a city. One that rhymes with arse.
Oh! I should have said we needed a we instead of an us, because... Wait! Anus! So stupid.
To all my friends.
Always and ever, Inquisitor. Always and ever.
Sarah was never in the group.
Creepy song is creepy. Ugh.
Your Worship, I'm glad you're here. Listen, I need you to keep the Chief distracted while we sneak this dragon skull through the room behind him.
I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes.
It's for his birthday.
I'll see what I can do, Krem.
All right, here he comes. Just keep him talking. He loves talking.
Hey, boss. Good to see you.
I always forget how tall you are.
Right? Hello down there.
You know what, Bull? I really like hitting things.
I know, right? We have the best job.
Do you think news of the Exalted Council could affect the lyrium shipments from Orzammar?
Maybe.
Bale has largely healed, now that most of the major rifts are closed. You might think otherwise, but the veil isn't technically a physical barrier. It's more like a magical vibration that repels the Fade.
Surprise! Happy birthday, Chief!
Oh, you guys. You got me.
Oh.
Is everything all right?
Yes. Well, I wanted to speak with you, and now you're here.
This seems serious.
It's not about me. It's about you. Maybe you should sit.
I can stand.
Maybe I should sit. Inquisitor, I want you to know that I am your friend. I will always be your friend.
Oh, well, that's...
So I hope to give you sound advice on this momentous day. Do what is in your heart, my friend, no matter what anyone might tell you.
That's a lovely sentiment, Cassandra.
Marriage is much more than a lovely sentiment, Inquisitor.
Marriage?
Of course, Dorian being Tevinter will raise eyebrows across the Empire, but if that is you... You're not proposing to anyone. I am going to kill Varric. Why do I believe everything he says? Why?
He said I was going to propose?
He mentioned a proposal. I suppose I filled in the blanks. Or he did this on purpose. That dwarf gets entirely too much joy from my discomfort.
I might get married. I've thought about it.
I suspected as much. Being Inquisitor has brought you good things. Many good things. But only a few have been by your choice. Take what happiness you can from those and do not let them go. That is all I meant to say. Advice from a friend for the days to come.
Darling, you made it. Excellent. I scheduled this appointment ages ago, and they do appreciate punctuality.
Appointment?
With the Imperial Garden Spa, of course. You work so hard, my dear. I wanted to treat you.
That sounds like a fantastic idea.
Of course it is, darling. That's the only kind I have.
What are the cheese wheels for?
It pains me that you even have to ask. You've clearly been living too long in barely civilized conditions.
Did you hear something?
Relax, darling. It's spa day. How have you been? It seems ages since we've spoken. How are your international relations with our favorite Tevinter Magister-to-be?
Things are excellent. Thank you for asking.
I'm glad to hear it. You've done so much, darling. You deserve to be happy.
You must be keeping very busy.
A divine's work is never done, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. Don't you feel better, my dear? This place really does work miracles.
What happened?
Darling, it's spa day. Don't fret. You'll undo all the good they've done. Come along, Inquisitor. They have other appointments, you know.
It's been quite a day so far, has it not? I've been speaking with representatives from everywhere.
Have they given you trouble?
Not at all. It is quite alarming. It means they are all saving themselves up for later. Would you walk with me? I should like to take some air before the Exalted Council becomes inescapable. The palace has been most accommodating. We are, after all, here at their insistence, but the ministers may... No. No more talk of the council. This meeting was to spend time with you in a more relaxed fashion.
Is this in your daily notes? 3 to 4 o'clock. Idle chat with the Inquisitor.
Of course not. Not precisely. The truth is, there is a small entertainment happening tonight, to which I may be able to find a pair of invitations.
You'd like me to go with you?
Very much so. In all the years you've worked with Orlais, you had so little time to enjoy its culture.
Perhaps you're right. These meetings and talks don't allow for much leisure time.
And then back to Skyhold without a moment's pause to take in where we are. With all that's been happening, I promised myself a single evening out. I'd very much like to go with a friend.
And what is this small entertainment?
Something to ease our minds. I would very much like to surprise you with the details.
Thank you for thinking of me. I'd be delighted to attend.
Splendid! I will arrange things at once. The past years have been so busy. We have earned at least a few moments of rest.
A calm night out sounds...
Oh, bravo! Bravo!
Was the woman in gold playing a king? Who was the man in feathers?
Oh, it's all very simple. The first actor's mask is determined by... well, I will lend you the program guide. But tell me, did you enjoy the performance?
What I really enjoyed was seeing you put your duties aside for a change.
I truly did. Thank you for coming. It's been too long since I just spent an evening doing... nothing.
Here's to nothing. May it happen to us more often in the future.
Oh, look! The encore signal! Thank you, Your Holiness. Now, Artigan, as to your concerns...
The Inquisition established an armed presence in Ferelden territory. You outright seized Caer Bronach in Crestwood.
Our goal was to keep more Ferelden citizens from dying, not to seize power.
Your help was appreciated 2 years ago, Inquisitor. Now order has been restored, yet you remain. Invading under pretext of restoring order is exactly what the Grey Wardens did to us centuries ago, and we exiled them. Now the Inquisition is doing the same thing with Grey Wardens in their ranks.
Your concern is ill-founded. The Grey Wardens have proven their worth time and again.
Of course Orlais tolerates this interference. The Inquisition is the only reason Selene still has the throne.
Rest assured, Tegan, the Empire of Orlais will not stand idle if the Inquisition oversteps its bounds. Unlike Ferelden, however, Orlais understands that these were the well-intentioned mistakes of a young organization.
An organization in need of a guiding hand. Yours, no doubt.
Pardon me, Inquisitor. Sister Leliana asked to speak with you in private.
My apologies. An urgent matter has come to my attention. Ambassador Montillier, can you handle this for a short while?
Of course, Inquisitor.
This is highly irregular.
Are we not even worth the Inquisitor's time?
Inquisitor, I thought you would want to see this. A Qunari warrior in full armor. How did he get into the Winter Palace?
So what would the left hand of the Divine see when she looked at this?
This is a warrior, not a spy. Part of the Antam, the Qunari military. Most of his wounds come from a fight against someone using magic, but at least a few are from a blade. He was badly hurt, separated from his allies, and made it here before he died. But how?
Would the Iron Bull know anything about this?
I asked, and he is as surprised as we are. Since becoming Tal Vashoth, he has had no contact with his people. He seems frustrated at not knowing more.
We need to find out what's going on. Can Josephine manage the diplomats while I look around?
She will be fine. It's all speeches and posturing for the first few days anyway. I will ask Divine Victoria to call a recess for now. I will also have our friends ready themselves for battle if need be.
You think that's likely?
I think the Exalted Council may be more exciting than we expected.
There are refreshments across the plaza if you care to leave.
Looks like he came down over the railing. An active Elufian? If I'm going through it, I'm not going alone. Judging by the bloodstains, he tried to get through here. This mirror doesn't look broken, but it's inactive. Maybe there's a way to unlock it. The blood trail leads to this mirror. Elven ruins. I'm not sure we're even in Orlais anymore. Another Qunari, dressed like the one in the Winter Palace.
They must be from the same faction, both girded for war.
Scorch marks everywhere. This is the work of a mage.
The expended energy is remarkable. I'd say the spell was cast within the past hour.
We need to find out why these Qunari were here, and who did this to them. Over there, Qunari. If we want to know why they're here, we've got to get across to that island.
The elves bound a spirit here. It feels old. Very old.
What does it want? I think I know what to say. Armelana de Thavren. Rivas Verenaris.
Seemed to work. What did you say?
It was part of a ritual, a secret greeting from those Fen'Harel trusted. If Mythal's Well of Sorrows knew this, were they close? Friends, or... I'm not sure. That was like veil fire. It claimed this was a refuge for elven slaves.
You mean the ancient elves kept slaves? Maker's breath. One more thing never to tell Daisy.
This whole valley was a sanctuary, created by the dread wolf Fen'Harel.
Curious, then, that the Dalish speak of Fen'Harel as a monster.
Here we go again. What a change of pace from the Winter Palace. A clear sky, a beautiful view, and yes, fields and fields of stripweed as far as the eye can see.
So, we're getting the band back together. That's exciting.
Don't tell me the Viscount of Kirkwall misses skulking around and shooting people.
You've never been to the Viscount's Keep, have you, Sparkler? Spend 2 hours there and you'll be glad to be shot at.
This is Fen'Harel helping former slaves as a mortal, not a god.
Ordinary guy saves people, accidentally founds religion. Sounds a lot like the chant, actually.
Fen'Harel sounds like quite the rebel. The old elven gods must have simply loved that.
This can't have happened too long ago. The blood's not even dry. This claims the elven gods were just Evanuris. Powerful, but completely mortal mages. If that's true, Fen'Harel was teaching these freed slaves.
Ah! Are you hurt?
I'm not sure. It stopped, at least. This looks like it fits into that pedestal by the broken bridge. Qunari.
The Inquisition doesn't leave alive.
Why did those Qunari attack the Inquisition on sight? If the Qun want us dead, we're facing the wrath of an entire nation.
Well, at last the Inquisition and Tevinter have something in common.
That's Fen-Horel, removing the face markings from a Dalish elf.
Isn't this place older than the Dalish?
Maybe the markings used to have a different meaning. What's this? Hidden weapons. These freed slaves fought back against the Ebenuris, posing as gods.
Interesting word, Ebenuris. If all it means is mage leader, well, they were basically magisters.
Let's look for anything that explains why the Qunari came here before we go. A note about an unknown intruder coming through an alluvion. They turned spirits against us, then fled.
A mage? They must have fought their way out, then let the spirits finish off the Qunari.
Two parties, then. The Qunari and a mystery agent determined to stop them. Come on. We have to warn people about the Qunari's designs on the Winter Palace.
One dead Qunari was bad enough. Now we have more, and they're hostile.
This makes no sense. The Qunari may not be friendly to the Inquisition, but they have no reason to attack us.
They also have no reason to be here, or using illuvians at all.
I've had the mirror placed under guard for now.
I just wanted the Exalted Council to go smoothly.
We must ensure that the Qunari do not disrupt the negotiations. The Exalted Council is in a very delicate state.
I'm certain you can soothe the nobles' ruffled feathers while we solve the real problem.
Not when the Inquisitor insults everyone present by walking out in the middle of the talks. Our only advantage is that Orlais and Ferelden are divided in goal and grievance. If they unite against us, Divine Victoria will have no choice but to support their claims. We could lose everything.
I know we're asking a lot of you, Ambassador. I promise we won't make this any harder for you than necessary.
My apologies. I will attend to the Exalted Council.
And while Josie does that, we will investigate.
I'll head back to the crossroads. We need to find out what the Qunari are doing, and why they attacked.
And I'll have a quiet word with our honor guard.
Path wasn't there before.
What is that?
Let's see where our horned friends were headed.
Why would a mystical elven mirror lead here?
We need to find out what these Qunari were up to. So let's go see, shall we? Look at all that. The Qunari have a huge operation here.
Well, now we know why shit keeps falling down.
This place isn't stable. Well, maybe the anchor could make itself useful down here.
Great. We're in the deep roads. I feel myself getting dwarfier by the minute. Did I just sprout a beard? I hate caves.
Orlesian cafes, taverns that are too tidy, slopes of greater than 10 degrees.
And Orlesians, Fereldans, Navarans, Mages, Templars, the entire Merchant Guild, Nugs.
Look, I have to complain, or you'll forget I'm here and trip over me. I'm providing a service.
Watch your feet, everyone!
Well, this place is all kinds of fun. What are the Qunari even doing in a place this awful?
Look, someone up ahead. I think he's human.
Stay back! Oh, wait. Your hand. Are you the Inquisitor?
Odd to find a human down in the deep roads at all, let alone surrounded by Qunari.
We don't have much time. Please, what the Vidisala is doing, you have to stop her.
The Vidisala?
She's the leader of the Qunari here. She hates magic. Her job was to study it and stop it at all costs. Not anymore. I don't care whether you serve Fenharel or not. Someone has to stop her.
Why do the Qunari think that the Inquisition serves Fenharel?
I don't know. The Vidisala said it, and the Qunari here accept it as fact. We've had agents of Fenharel causing trouble all over the crossroads. Sabotage, making spirits attack us. I assume the Inquisition was their army. That you came here because Fenharel told you to.
Who are you, exactly?
My name is Jeren. Sir Jeren, once. I was a Templar in Kirkwall, until I joined the Qun.
You're Qunari?
Kirkwall was madness. Chaos. The Qunari were like the eye of a storm. I stand for order and discipline, protecting the innocent from magic. But this plan, it's as mad as Meredith ever was.
What do you mean? This Vidisala's not doing her job anymore?
Almost a complete reversal, actually. This place is a lyrium mining and processing center. The Canary need it for... Have you ever heard of Sarabas? It's a mage. Except Canary mages are much more dangerous than those among humans or elves. Even as a Templar, I'd never seen anything like the power Sarabas can unleash. And now Vidisala is giving them lyrium. A lot of lyrium. It's part of something she calls Dragon's Breath. There's more to it than that, but I couldn't find out what. The Canary don't like it when you ask too many questions.
Where are we? Why are there elven mirrors in the deep roads?
This place is close to something like a lyrium spring. The more we mine, the more there seems to be. As for the mirrors, I don't know. Maybe the elves were mining here too.
What are you doing down here?
The Canary wanted me to teach them everything I knew about lyrium. Where it comes from, everything it can do, how we put it to use. I knew enough from my time in the Order. They figured out more. I'm not sure how. Maybe they got to the Carter.
The Canary can't be mining their own lyrium. It kills anyone who tries, other than dwarves.
It killed the Canary at first. But Canary workers have a discipline only Tranquil can match. And they're quick learners. They figured it out.
That's not seriously the name of the plan, is it? Dragon's Breath?
You know that most Dragon's Breath destroys everything in its path, right? She said it would save the South. That can mean only one thing. An invasion. This mine is the only source of lyrium the Canary have. They're using Gatlock, the explosive powder in the round casks, to mine, so they don't have to touch raw lyrium. If you get the primers from Central Supply, you can prime the Gatlock and detonate it. The mines will go up in flames.
All right, I'll try to stop them here.
I doubt my blessing counts for much now, but make her watch over you. Deep Stalkers and Cave-ins will cut off reinforcements, but they'll still come when they hear trouble. You've got to find the Vidisala to end this war before it begins.
There's no telling how bad things will get when I destroy the mine. You better get moving.
I will. Good luck, Inquisitor.
Let's go. We have a lyrium mine to ruin.
Lived with the Canary threat all my life. If it escalates, it won't just be Tevinter fighting them.
There's one of the mining platforms. Now we just need primers.
So, sneak in, get primers, blow this mining operation sky high. Sounds like fun.
We're almost there.
Are you quite all right, Inquisitor? It hasn't escaped me that the Anchor is acting up.
Worrying about me, Madame de Fer?
Solus was the only one who ever pretended to understand the Anchor, but we all know it's dangerous.
We should take a look at it. Maybe between the two of us, Vivienne and I can find some way to slow it down.
That looks like a perfect target. Don't you agree, my dear?
Warn the others about this Dragon's Breath plan.
We may have to swim out, my dear. Let's hurry.
Stone, dark tunnels, and surrounded by extremely hostile canali. Not the place I'd have chosen for a romantic homecoming of Martus.
We'll spend time someplace nicer when we get through this. I promise.
I think I'll forget. Ramshal's guest is legendary. It's wanted to try and run.
We should see where that leads. Josephine were probably at war with the Q. Anyone?
I'll tell them if you want, but they'll probably think I'm lying.
They're gonna kill me.
Dragon's breath. The Qunari always enjoy their metaphors.
But what does it mean?
Who knows? Qunari agents moving through Illuvians to attack the south is bad enough already.
I still do not understand why they accused the Inquisition of serving Fenarel.
We know that Mythal actually exists. It's possible Fen-Harel is still here in some form too.
What you describe in the ruins certainly implies that the Dread Wolf of Elven legend is a real person.
But how does that implicate us? What made them decide that the Inquisition serves this Fen-Harel?
Hopefully we will learn more after we have stopped them.
Let's see the Exalted Council try to disband the Inquisition after we've saved them from this dragon's breath.
We must find out what Dragon's Breath is first. For now, our only lead is the Qunari leader, the Vidusala.
Gentlemen!
My apologies, Lady Josephine. There has been an incident with one of your soldiers.
How dare you? It was bad enough that the Inquisition chose not to inform the Exalted Council of the Qunari Corps.
Ole would have been happy to help with the matter.
But now your own guards are attacking servants? You have overstepped your bounds.
We have more important things to worry about than scuffling soldiers.
While the Exalted Council is our foremost priority, the Inquisitor will, of course, address this matter personally.
Thank you, Inquisitor. Ole stands ready to assist the Inquisition, as always.
Secrets and lies. Do you understand why we fear your Inquisition? You act as if you're the solution to every problem. How long before you drag us into another war?
What's going on here?
The Orlesians tried to take one of our people, Inquisitor. We've secured the area.
This is the Winter Palace. You cannot simply seize control when one of your guards attacks a servant.
The Inquisition is handling this. When some noble commits a crime of fashion, you can take over.
I only asked what he was doing.
And when I refused to bow to the Inquisition's dogs, you attacked me! How would you like us to handle the situation, Inquisitor?
That barrel there. Where did it come from?
I was ordered to bring wine for the guests.
You're lying.
Your Inquisition soldiers are completely out of control.
No, we're in control. Keep talking and you'll find yourself in chains.
Please take the servant into custody.
Right away, Your Worship.
Inquisitor?
Ambassador Montilier will explain later. For now, please hold the servant for questioning.
As you say, Inquisitor. Lord Cyril will hear about this.
Inquisitor, I also found this by the barrel. I can't read the language.
Did you resolve the problem with the guard?
The guard is the least of our problems. Someone smuggled Gatlock barrels into the Winter Palace.
Smile, Inquisitor. There are many eyes upon us. At least now we know the true extent of the Dragon's Breath.
How are you still smiling?
Years of training as a bard, Inquisitor. We cannot show weakness now. Enemies could be watching, or we can let them seize idle conversation between two friends.
You think the Dragon's Breath is these Gatlock barrels?
Of course. A surprise attack, even through the Illuvians, would have met fierce resistance. But if everyone at the Exalted Council died in an explosion, the South would be rudderless, vulnerable to attack. This is what Corypheus should have done after the explosion at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. An attack as swift and unstoppable as the breath of a dragon.
The guard who confronted the servant said she found this note near one of the barrels. It looks like Qunari writing.
Let me see. I picked some up from the Iron Bull, though I'm told my accent is atrocious. These are orders for positioning the Gatlock in the palace. When duty has been performed, report to the Vidisala through the mirror marked by a bookcase.
I've been hoping to meet the esteemed Vidisala. How nice of her to invite us over.
Good. While you do that, I will have agents locate the Gatlock barrels and remove them safely. I will also send word to my foreign contacts. We must see where else this dragon could strike.
An alluvion marked by a bookshelf. This should be it. Is this some sort of old elven library?
It definitely saw a massive magical backlash some time ago.
Let's hope we can track down the Vidisala in all this.
Visitors, patrons, welcome. The halls are open.
What are you?
I am study. I am a learning thirst. Come, know what has not been lost. New words, new stories. The Kunari would not approach, but we learned their words as well. If you wish to exchange knowledge, they congregate by the lower gate.
What did the old elves use this place for?
This is the Virtethara, the living knowledge of the Empire. The libraries of every city, the wisdom of every court. A connecting place whose paths are in disarray.
What put this place into disarray?
The Virtethara was made with world and fade. When they sundered, so did we. Paths broke, knowledge fragmented, many were trapped. I preserved their last words.
What were these old elves' last words?
What happened? Where are the paths? Where are the paths? God save me. The floor is gone. Do not let me fall. Do not let me... On this spot, that is all.
I'm looking for a Kunari called Vidisala. Do you know what she wants here?
Vidisala, yes. She uses scholars and mages for study. They fear this place, but they seek to know the Veil.
What does Vidisala want to know about the Veil?
I regret I do not have more information. I am sundered from myself. If you discover another one of me nearer the Kunari, I may know more. Kindly give it my greetings. I have not thought with myself for some time.
There must be thousands of years of history here. There must be so much you can teach us.
I will try to recall, honored patron, but there are gaps, breaks. Greetings, laughter, Ema Enasal, forms out of air, light, memories. And yet there are so many broken parts at every... missing. I cannot. There is no more. Apologies. I knew all once. We knew. With the break, only fragments or knowledge new since the fall.
We'll be going now.
Know this. An unknown person, not of the Kunari, recently woke the librarians.
An unknown person? Could this be our agent of Fen'Harel?
The librarians facilitated learning before the fracture, before the fall. Now, beware them. They are unwell.
There, Kunari, on that upside-down island?
Looks like a camp up there. Down there. Shit, this place is weird.
That repairs some of the steps. Let's look around for more. The inverted alluvion must lead to the Kunari.
Interesting. The anchor is reacting adversely to elven magic.
What does that mean?
I haven't the slightest, my dear. Keep an eye on it.
These Canary are dead, but there's not a mark on them.
Welcome, welcome. Listen to the last words of those who lived past the fall. How could the dread wolf cast a veil between the world that wakes and the world that dreams? The Evenuris will send people. They will save us. When have you last heard from the gods? When the veil came down, they went silent. What is this veil? What has Fen'Harel done?
Are these records saying Fen'Harel created the veil between our world and the Fade?
If it's true, that means the Fade and the waking world were once one and the same.
Look at all of this. What a pity.
The destruction of the library. It's a tragic waste.
Actually, I meant the elves. To build an entire empire on the foundation of magic.
So did the Imperium. Although we haven't reached the entire libraries in the Fade stage yet.
The elves trusted completely that the world as it was would never change. This rubble is the legacy of that trust. I know you want to save the Imperium, but be careful, Dorian darling. If it crumbles beneath you, be ready to jump.
I always am.
These blocks are heading toward that upside-down illuvian. It's a place of learning. Maybe this Vir de Thaura is helping us find what we need. The pain stopped.
It keeps coming back.
More dead Canary, with terrified expressions.
And listen to the last words of those who walked this place. If we get out of here, I will end Fen'Harel. After he held back the sky to imprison the gods, the dread wolf disappeared. Lies. We must tear down the veil, the cities, the pathways. Without magic, they're crumbling. You're wasting your time. Fen'Harel's veil has turned our empire to ruins.
So the ancient Elven Empire collapsed because the veil weakened magic?
Do you realize what this means? What this place is? The actual history of the elves could change everything.
An empire run on more magic than we have ever seen. Perhaps it's best its little secrets remain lost.
Now that we have so many samples, how hard would it be to build Illuvians of our own?
Oh, I knew this one apostate in Kirkwall you would have gotten along with like a house on fire.
After these past few years, it would just be good to create something magical that is also helpful for a change.
Or make a fruitless chase for Tevinter's lost glory?
Come now. We could visit each other on a whim. Think how much fun life would be if I were always a step away.
My dear Lord Parvus, the mind practically reels.
If they're gonna stuff me into politics, I've got to have some fun on the side.
You think we could take a couple of these books back with us?
They aren't really books, my dear. They're merely emanations of ideas projected into your mind.
I've never read an elven novel. I wonder what kind of stories they told. What the? I never wrote this.
That should be enough stairs. Let's see if we can reach the inverted alluvium now. They're the librarians.
Not good.
They're false. Lost an arm.
Survivor of the Breach, Herald of Change, Hero of the South.
The Vidisala, I presume.
After fulfilling your purpose at the Breach, it is astonishing to hear you still walked free among your people. Your duty is done, Inquisitor. It is time to end your magic.
I've defeated all your Ben Hasrath so far.
So you have. The repercussions have already begun. I am no stranger to catastrophe, but this chaos in the south defies comprehension. The Qun left your people to curb your own magic. You've amply proven we should have stepped in long ago.
Is that what Dragon's Breath is for? Murdering our heads of state just to control our magic?
Do you believe closing the breach solved everything? That its consequences stopped there? The day we saw the breach, the Qun decided its action. We would remove your leaders and spare those who toil. This agent of Fen'Harel has disrupted everything. Lives that were to be spared, lost for him.
Who is this agent? Why would you think they work for the Inquisition?
Kill the Inquisitor, then follow me to the Darvarad.
Visitors, patrons, welcome. The halls are open.
Can you tell me where a Canary called the Vidisala went?
Yes, we heard much, although she fooled herself into thinking we could not hear. Take a keystone to the Darvarad. I will join you there soon and take stock of our remaining Gatlock powder.
I found a keystone with one of the Canary.
Yes, and you need words for their key. Maras Nira. It glows. It will open the way to the Darvarad. May you find what you seek. In coming here, you strengthen the powers. I can now raise one, if you wish to go.
You've been very helpful.
Gil Dethan was what the Elven called me. One who guides seekers of knowledge true. I was connection. One city could read the records of another, one Elven feel the memories of another. When the veil fell upon us, I marked the end of all they knew.
We've got to find this Darvarad and corner Vidisala there.
Your agents confirm there are Gatlock battles in Denerin's palace?
Yes, and in Val Royeaux and across the Free Marches. The Winter Palace is not the only target.
The Canary are one order from destroying every noble house in the known world.
Oh, there is a bright side. Warning the ambassadors will remind them of the Inquisition's value.
Not when the Inquisition is responsible for that threat.
I take it you have new information.
The elven servant handling the barrels confessed to working for the Canary.
But the servant was Orlesian. That implicates Orlais, not us.
But the barrels arrived at the Winter Palace on the Inquisition supply manifest.
How are we supposed to fight a war when we can't even trust our own people?
Do you know who got the barrels onto the Inquisition manifest?
Yes, several of the Inquisition's elven workers have gone missing. I had their backgrounds checked. They joined the Inquisition after fleeing the chaos in Kirkwall.
I remember when Kirkwall was at its worst. Many of the city's elves converted to the Qun, trying to find a better life.
And the Canary turned them into spies.
The Inquisition stopped Corypheus and saved the world. We can't let an outside threat change who we are.
I fought to protect the Inquisition in this exalted council. And for what? So we could deceive and threaten those we claimed to protect?
Once we locate the spies...
This isn't about the spies. You hid the Canary body. You've all but seized control of the Winter Palace.
We did what was right, not what was politically convenient.
Do you know what this has cost us with Orlais and Ferelden? They are planning to dismantle us as we speak. And perhaps they are right.
Oh, shit! Damn it! We save Ferelden and they're angry. We save Orlais and they're angry. We closed the breach twice, and my own hand wants to kill me.
Could one thing in this fucking world just stay fixed? I need to get to the Darvarad. You all can fight amongst yourselves once I'm back.
Thank you, Inquisitor.
Would you like us to inform the Exalted Council of the danger?
Yes, if we fail, the Exalted Council needs to know what happened.
I will inform them personally.
Leliana, I can...
No, your job is hard enough already. This is my responsibility.
I'll have guards ready at the Alluvion, in case the Qunari attack the palace.
Make a watch over you.
Darvarad. All right, everyone. Get ready. Dragon's breath is an actual dragon?
Tetha! Bars!
Inquisition! Nira Tasiasara! Mirabas Adim Kata! You have come far enough, Inquisitor. No more.
Vital to the Qunari operation as it looks. We should destroy it at once, my dear.
This dragon's in bad shape. Seems like kicking a wounded puppy, you know, the giant fire-breathing kind.
Turn the rings. Those barriers are holding the dragon.
Need to open the gate.
Atashi Itwa! Terasam!
That's it, darling. Keep going.
Dear Inquisitor, you have such little time left. You must finally see the truth. Elven magic already tore the sky apart. If the agents of Fen Harel are not stopped, you will shatter the world as well.
Whatever you think I've done, mass assassination isn't a good moral high ground.
The South was poisoned by these elves' manipulations. It suffers just as you do now. You would have died from the mark on your hand, but for the help of one of their chief agents. The same agent who helped seal the breach, who led you to Skyhold, who gave Corypheus the orb, then founded the Inquisition. Soulless, agent of Fen Harel.
Damn it, Chuckles. What have you done?
Whatever Solus is involved in, I'm nobody's puppet.
Even now, you refuse to see the strings. Solus tricked us all. He pushed a dying Canary into the Winter Palace to lure you into opposing us. Without him, we could have brought the South peace and wisdom along the gentle path. Now we must take the way of blades. Anahayden, Inquisitor. If it is any consolation, Solus will not outlive you.
Whatever else, Solus was one of us. I won't leave him for Vidisala.
There, up ahead.
It's going to! Everyone back!
We've got to stop this before it kills you. Assuming we find him, maybe Chuckles can help. Chuckles, who apparently works for Fen Harel. It's always the quiet ones.
That must be where Solus is.
There's the big Sarabas who's always with the Vidisala.
Sarabas, Rathrall, shock!
The big guy's headed our
Inquisitor. Anton! Trust me! You are dead, Inquisitor! Your soul is dust!
Ebesit kata, etwa ost.
Maraskata!
Your forces have failed. Leave now and tell the Canary to trouble me no further.
Solus.
That should give us more time. I suspect you have questions.
How were you able to control the anchor?
In the same way as when I stopped it from killing you at Haven. Although I am stronger now. The mark you bear was bestowed upon you by the orb of Fen'Harel. My orb.
You're Fen'Harel?
I was Solus first. Fen'Harel came later. An insult I took as a badge of pride. The Dread Wolf inspired hope in my friends, and fear in my enemies. Not unlike Inquisitor, I suppose. You also know the burden of a title that all but replaces your name.
Are you a fragment of what Fen'Harel once was? Like Mythal?
No. This is all I have ever been.
And the legends?
I sought to set my people free from slavery to would-be gods. I broke the chains of all who wished to join me. The false gods called me Fen'Harel, and when they finally went too far, I formed the Veil and banished them forever. Thus I freed the Elven people, and in so doing, destroyed their world.
How did creating the Veil destroy the world?
You saw the remains of Via Dethara. The library was intrinsically tied to the Fade, and the Veil destroyed it. There were countless other marvels, all dependent on the presence of the Fade, all destroyed. The elven legends of immortality, all true. It was not the arrival of humans that caused them to begin aging. It was me. The Veil took everything from the elves, even themselves.
You love the Fade. Why would you create the Veil to hide it all away?
Because every alternative was worse.
Meaning?
Had I not created the Veil, the Evanurus would have destroyed the entire world.
You banished the false gods? You didn't kill them?
You met Mythal, did you not? The first of my people do not die so easily. The Evanurus are banished forever, paying the ultimate price for their misdeeds.
You said that the elven gods went too far. What did they do that made you move against them?
They killed Mythal. Crime for which an eternity of torment is the only fitting punishment.
I thought Mythal was one of the Evanurus.
She was the best of them. She cared for her people. She protected them. She was a voice of reason. And in their lust for power, they killed her.
The Evanurus were elven mages? How did they come to be remembered as gods?
Slowly. It started with a war. War breeds fear. Fear breeds a desire for simplicity. Good and evil, right and wrong, chains of command. After the war ended, generals became respected elders, then kings, and finally gods. The Evanurus.
That's the past. What about the future?
I lay in dark and dreaming sleep while countless wars and ages passed. I woke still weak a year before I joined you. My people fell for what I did to strike the Evanurus down. But still, some hope remains for restoration. I will save the elven people, even if it means this world must die.
Why does this world have to die for the elves to return?
A good question, but not one I will answer. You have always shown a thoughtfulness I respected. It would be too easy to tell you too much. I am not Corypheus. I take no joy in this. But the return of my people means the end of yours. It is my fight. You should be more concerned about the Inquisition. Your Inquisition. In stopping the Dragon's Breath, you have prevented an invasion by Qunari forces. With luck, they will return their focus to Tevinter. That should give you a few years of relative peace.
The Qunari said the Inquisition was unknowingly working for agents of Fen'Harel.
I gave no orders.
You led us to Skyhold.
Corypheus should have died unlocking my orb. When he survived, my plans were thrown into chaos. When you survived, I saw the Inquisition as the best hope this world had of stopping him. And you needed a home. Hence, Skyhold.
You gave your orb to Corypheus?
Not directly. My agents allowed the Venatori to locate it. The orb had built up magical energy while I lay unconscious for millennia. I was not powerful enough to open it. The plan was for Corypheus to unlock it, and for the resulting explosion to kill him. Then I would claim the orb. I did not foresee a Tevinter Magister having learned the secret of effective immortality.
What would have happened if Corypheus had died and you'd recovered the orb?
I would have entered the Fade using the mark you now bear. Then I would have torn down the veil. As this world burned in the raw chaos, I would have restored the world of my time. The world of the elves.
If you destroyed the veil, wouldn't the false gods be freed?
I had plans.
I never thought of you as someone who would do that, Solus.
Thank you. You must understand. I awoke in a world where the veil had blocked most people's conscious connection to the Fade. It was like walking through a world of tranquil.
We aren't even people to you.
Not at first. You showed me that I was wrong. Again. That does not make what must come next any easier.
Whatever your reasons, we couldn't have defeated Corypheus without you.
Your doubts are misplaced. Everything you accomplished, you earned.
What's wrong with the Inquisition?
You created a powerful organization, and now it suffers the inevitable fate of such. Betrayal and corruption.
It's not that simple.
Do you know how I discovered the Canary plot? The plot I disrupted by leading them to your doorstep. The Canary spies in the Inquisition tripped over my spies in the Inquisition. The Elven Guard who led you to the Canary body, who intercepted the servant with the Gatlock barrel. Mine.
Why bother disrupting the Canary plot if you're going to destroy the world regardless?
You have shown me that there is value in this world, Inquisitor. I take no joy in what I must do. Until that day comes, I would see those recovering from the breach free of the Qun.
Why?
Because I am not a monster. If they must die, I would rather they die in comfort. In any event, it is done.
I guess we owe you for that one, too.
I hope it gives your people some final peace.
You control the Illuvians now?
Yes. You remember Briala from Hallam Shiral? For a time, she controlled part of the labyrinth. One of my agents was supposed to take it from her, but he did not succeed. I had to override the magic personally. The Canary stumbled upon this section independently. With them gone, the Illuvians are now mine.
There's still the matter of the anchor. It's getting worse.
Yes, I'm sorry. And we are almost out of time. The monk will eventually kill you. Drawing you here gave me the chance to save you. At least for now.
You don't need to destroy this world. I'll prove it to you.
I would treasure the chance to be wrong once again, my friend. Take my hand. I'm sorry. Live well, while time remains.
The Inquisition did not cause this threat. We informed the Summit of the danger.
The danger posed by Canary spies inside your organization.
Without our organization, I doubt you would be alive to complain.
No one has forgotten what you have done. But Corypheus is 2 years dead.
If the Inquisition is to continue, it must do so as a legitimate organization, not a glorified mercenary band.
Inquisitor.
You all know what this is. A writ from Divine Justinia authorizing the formation of the Inquisition. We pledge to close the breach, find those responsible, and restore order. With or without anyone's approval. It wasn't a formally authorized treaty that saved Ferelden's people. It wasn't careful diplomacy that ended your inane civil war. It was never about the organization. It was about people doing what was necessary. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a world to save. Again. Effective immediately. The Inquisition is disbanded.
Ordering our soldiers.
agents have found nothing. With the Illuvians, he could be anywhere.
With the Inquisition officially disbanded, we have no army, no formal alliances.
We have what we truly need.
We will need to be careful.
Solus knows everything about us. Who we are, how we work, our strengths and weaknesses.
Then we find people he doesn't know. We will save our friend from himself. If we can.
book? All this shit is weird. Oh, Varric, that is a terrible title. What are you even thinking? The sky churned like a rolling sea on a dark and stormy night, centered on a gaping hole that led to the arse end of nowhere. A hole that spit up many things that day. Comets, demons, and a whole lot of trouble. It's about the Inquisition. The din of the tavern cut the silence like it owed the carter money. In the middle, in her element, Red Jenny. She looked me up and down, mostly down. "Not playing, weirdy," she said, gesturing with and dismissively eating a sandwich. "Don't write that. Seriously, piss up a rope." Sarah made the subtext text, which suited me fine. The court enchanter swirled into the room like a drop of beautiful poison spreading in a wineglass. She sized me up with a glance. "I'm so glad you made it, my dear," she said. "I am Madame de Fer, the most terrifying person you shall ever meet." folded Alphonse in an embrace as warm as a serpent's kiss. I always knew I could count on your support. The Count did not feel the bite of her poisoned dart until it was too late. Even if it requires your death. Drops of rain glistened on the griffin medallion grasped tightly in Blackwall's hand. The silverite wings of valor, they mean nothing. He flung the medal to the cold and uncaring ground. You don't know what I've done. You don't know me. So romantic. Cole moved like a shadow that also moved like a knife. A shadow wearing a hat where dreams came to die. It's a riddle, he whispered. A cold riddle that gnaws at your mind, but you'll feel better when it's gone. That makes as much sense as anything Cole says. Place your herald above the law, Ambassador. Whose law, my lady? Josephine's eyes glittered like angry opals. The law destroyed by rebellion, by civil war, by poor fiscal management. We are the law. Left our mark on Adamant, but the dust hadn't settled, and neither had Harding. I can offer you a drink, if I catch your meaning. If you'd caught my meaning, you'd have offered a double. What is even happening here? Iron Bull was a great slab of muscle with horns that could hang a tapestry. One eye scanned for threats, while the other hid behind an eye patch like a chantry sister's old sins. Come on, he barked, not looking back as he entered. The dancer with the great rack comes on in 5. That is spot on, actually. The commander had the look of a Templar who had seen the worst of humanity, yet still had the time to style his hair. This isn't just a war, he said, his gaze steely like a dull blade. It's the only war. Cullen! That's Cullen! The mage wore a class of handsome sneer cultivated by 1,000 years of Tevinter elitism. The name's Dorian, he glared. D-O-R-I-A-N. Spell it right, you marble-headed lump, or it's toad time. A toad? That's hardly credible. The bold elf spun, mage staff crackling like the city after a good man's murder. You're crazy, the Red Templar cried in terror. Moonlight glinted off ears like the knives you never see coming. Better to fade out than burn away. Ugh, Varric. Wait, where am I? I don't... Oh, here it is. The Seeker clutched at my vest, her tears as desperate as they were pitiful.
Varric, I was wrong about everything, she sobbed. Could you find it in your noble heart to forgive me? That dwarf, he put me in the book! I'm in the book! I am reading the shit out of this!
Shadows fall and hope has fled. Still your heart, the dawn will come. The night is long and the path is dark. Look to the sky, for one day soon the dawn will come.
The shepherd's lost, and his home is far. Keep to the stars, the dawn will come. The night is long, and the path